Bum, bum. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. I'm home. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1746. Happy Mother's Day and home again. So first of all, to all the mums out there, all of those who have a mothering role of some sort, whether you are a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a niece, a sister, whatever, if you're in a mothering role, happy Mother's Day and thank you for all that you do. I am blessed to have such an amazing mum, and I totally forgot to wish her happy Mother's Day yesterday, which is what it was in New Zealand. But I sent her a text message today after she reminded me it was Mother's Day yesterday. But I did have a lot going on. So I'm home. I left this morning from the older son's house at around 9:45, stopped and got gas on my way to my middle son's new house to go and see the progress on that, because they purchased a house and they've basically gutted it and remodeled it and redesigned it and added some square footage and doing a whole landscaping thing in the back in the whole yard as well. And so I got to go through all the drywall's just gone in and been mudded. So I was able to go in and see all of that done and see what was going to be going where. And they actually had a landscaper's rendition of what the yard area is going to look like as well. So I got to see that video. It was amazing. That house is going to be so awesome for them and what they have done to it. And as far as also doing a little bit of soundproofing inside too, which I thought was a really smart idea. But their place is going to look so amazing when it gets completed. And so fingers crossed they will be in there by September, maybe earlier. Contractor says one date, they're thinking another date. But it all depends. It depends. But yeah, I'm super, super excited for them. And because they were closer to the, normally I head north up onto the I-10 and come home, but I had to go south to see their place. And by that stage, I was like, they're not far off the I-8. And so I ended up bringing that home. And I haven't driven the I-8. When did I last drive the I-8? Probably in 2020 when I took the RV that direction. Although, hang on, I have driven Bluebird that direction as well. So it could have been 2 or 3 years since I drove that direction along the I-8, because I have driven in Bluebird, and I got Bluebird in 2021. Jeepers, I've had her 3 years. Huh. I would tell you this, great run through, like virtually no traffic. And I know driving home on a Sunday from LA to Phoenix, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of roadworks. Like they say, roadworks for the next 10 miles. You get to 10 mile marks, roadworks for the next 23 miles. And I'm like, why can't you just put up a sign that says roadworks for 33 miles? No, they just like to break it up in chunks and just have it go back to back to back. But on the I-8, I think we had one, possibly 2 areas where there were roadworks, and they're virtually not. I mean, there was one place where they had 2 right lanes closed and you're down to 1 lane, and that was through there. There was hardly any traffic. And because I was going to I-8, I thought, Dateland! I can go to Dateland and get my dark chocolate covered dates, which I have been craving since I first heard. Somebody told me about Dateland back in, I think it was like 2018. They told me about that, and I stopped there and I got the dark chocolate dates. I was on my way to Phoenix for a weekend event, and I got these dark chocolate covered dates, and they were amazing. I have never seen them since. Every time I go past Dateland, I stop in, go looking for my dark chocolate thing. They didn't even have milk chocolate covered ones. They didn't have the white chocolate covered ones either, because that's what they normally had whenever I'd gone in. And the guy behind the counter was a little swamped, so I couldn't even ask him. But there were no chocolate covered dates. And the only thing I could think of for this time, which doesn't apply to any of the other times, is because we're going into the summer months. And a lot of people go in there and buy their chocolate covered dates, forgetting that they have to keep them cold while they're driving and stuff, and they end up melting in the heat. So I figured that's why there was no chocolate covered dates this time. So I had made a promise to myself that if there is no dark chocolate covered dates, I am not buying anything. No milkshakes, no ice creams, no snacks, no nothing, not even date preserve. And I love their date preserves, because their date chutneys and things. I love those. And I didn't even get those. I saw there was absolutely no chocolate covered dates. I mean, they even had the 9-pound boxes on sale. And I thought, oh, that would be really good to get those because I eat a lot of dates and I love my dates and I like doing making lamb balls and splitting the date open and wrapping it around there and then putting bacon around that and cooking them in the oven. I love that combination. And there's other way. And if you've watched when Nicole comes on, we talk about different things that you could put inside the dates before you wrap it in the bacon. And so I was wanting to try all those, but I was like, nope, they don't have my dark chocolate dates. And I made a promise to myself I wouldn't buy anything if that was the case. And I didn't. As soon as I found out they had no chocolate covered dates of any description, I left and I didn't spend a penny there. So I was very proud of myself for holding up for that. But I got home about 40 minutes ago. I did stop off at the Habit on the way home to get dinner because I was like thinking, okay, I have stuff in the fridge that I need to cook and everything else. And I'm like, I've got to unpack the car. Now, I have to tell you this. I'm pretty good at packing into a car and playing Tetris with all of that. My oldest son, however, he took over and got more in there than I believed possible to get in there. And I can usually do a pretty good packing job. He did a much better packing job. And the only thing I've left at their place is I've got one of those dollies with the 2 wheels that you put boxes on and move them around. So that's the only thing I have at their place that I'm going to be picking up in June when I go back out there for my youngest grandson's first birthday. And I was just like, and there was also something else I was going to get too. I can't remember what else was going to be going in the car. But yeah, so I was super impressed with how much he managed to get in there. I did a great sorting through the stuff that was still in the car because I did 2 trips to the storage unit to get everything across. And this morning I did a quick sort through everything and I said to them, this stuff, Goodwill, this stuff's trash. That's all that's left there to do with that stuff. So, that was that. I even found old toys of Gus's in there with his old food bowls, and I was like, yeah, stuff's got to go. And I said, how are we going to get this to Lucy? And I'm like, yeah, no, it's been dog slobbered on. It's been sitting in storage for 5 years, so no, it gets tossed. And it was like stuffing pulled out and all that sort of stuff. Probably should have tossed it ages ago, but I got into that mode of sort of like, I can't bother sorting anymore. I'm just going to throw everything into boxes and cartons and whatever. So it was a very quick sort and very easy to get rid of stuff doing it that way. And now I have a car to unpack and I have 2 doors. If I open them, stuff is going to fall out. They are at the back of my car. I had no rear view mirror to use. Well, I had a rear view mirror. I just couldn't see out the back of the car the whole drive home. So I used my wing mirrors and my son said to me, he says, are you going to be okay driving with no rear view mirror? And I said, yeah, I will be perfectly fine because, I used to drive the RV. We don't have a rear view mirror in an RV. So when you're driving the RV, you only have your wing mirrors that you can drive with. So it was kind of like driving the RV, except I was a lot lower to the ground. And I made it home. Like the passenger seat was full of stuff as well. But I was still able to access it. And I put the cooler, which plugs into the cigarette lighter, that was on the seat next to me. And I was able to open it and access it at stops and that sort of thing as well. And just had this very small area to put things. And if I had something in a bag that I was trying to eat from, I had a little pocket in one of the, I've got a thing that I keep in the trunk that's got emergency supplies in there, like extra water. My 2 64-ounce bottles of water are in there, stainless steel containers of water are in there, the air pump thing for the tires, the jump start kit thing that you just plug it in and press a button and it jump starts the car. What else was in there? Oh, reflective stuff. So like if I had to pull over the side of the road, I need to put I got those little hazard flashing light things that you can put out on the road, and a reflector jacket. So that was all sitting up the front in the footwell. So yeah, it was pretty well packed. And I have to say, Brendan did an awesome, amazing job. So from there, I went down to the middle son's place because they had purchased a house, and they purchased a house and basically gutted the place, redesigned it, added onto it. I've got all this stuff going on, and it's going to be awesome when it's finished. So I got to see that and I spent about an hour there with them, walking through the house, hearing all their ideas and what's going to be going on, what's going to be happening. And they happen to have a video rendition of what the landscaper what the landscape designer came up with for the yard. The whole yard, front yard, side yards, and the backyard. and it looks amazing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. And then I was with them for an hour, and then I got on the road, and so it was at 11:45 now, around 11:45, and I actually got to the Habit at 5:45. So it was like 7 hours from when I left San Diego to when I got there, and then of course I had to go through the drive-through, order dinner, and come home. And I've just finished eating dinner, coming on here, and now I've got to go and empty the car. And I have to empty the car tonight because my pillows are in that car somewhere. My bag with toiletries is in the car there somewhere. Everything's somewhere in the car. And then tomorrow morning, I was supposed to go and pick up Zeffie tomorrow morning, but the sitter said, "Hey, I'm coming over to the wildlife park, which is like about 10 minutes down the road from me." And she says, "Is it okay? I'll be there about around 9 o'clock. Is it okay if I drop off Zeffie?" I said, "Sure." That saves me an hour and a half trip, because it would have been 30 minutes there, having a conversation with her, and then 30 minutes home again. And so that would have been like about an hour and a half in total travel time. So now I've just been saved all of that, which means I can get a lot of work done tomorrow morning. And because I've still got a lot of work to do from last week when I kept getting interrupted with stuff to do for the kids and that sort of thing. And I'm a bit red today. Wasn't even sitting in the sun that I recall. Oh well. But I'm glad to be, and it's so quiet in here. So quiet. I mean, I can tell Zeffie's not in the house. And the house was actually really quite cool when I came in here, because I left the thermostat sitting at 78, even though it's like 99 or something. I don't even know what it is. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. I do have my phone with me. Let's see. It is currently 91 degrees outside, and inside it was like 75, and I had the AC to come on at 78. So yeah. So I went from like, it was 71 degrees when I left the second son's house to get on the road. And I'm just looking to see what it's going to be daily. Yeah, today was meant to be 95 of a high. Tomorrow's 99. I stopped off at the first rest area along the way, and I wasn't even in Arizona at that point. I was still in California, and it was 99 degrees outside. So yeah, so if the house temperature went above 78, the AC would have kicked on, but I don't know how much it kicked on, because this place is usually pretty well insulated. Although when it gets into triple digits, then it will get into the high 70s. It's close to triple digits, so it may have, it may not have. I don't know. But 78, I felt comfortable leaving it at that while I was gone. So, and I'd looked ahead to see what the temperatures were going to be. So right now I'm going to go and unpack the car. It's going to take me a few minutes. It'll probably take me about 30 minutes. And then I'm just going to kick back and relax for the evening. And oh yeah, I have to find my alarm clock, because I had to move it. It was in one bag, and of course pack the bags and all that, and then something got put on top of that particular bag, and all of a sudden there's somebody, Brandon says to me, says, "There's a noise coming." He says, "There's a noise coming from over here." He says, "I can't figure out what it is." And as soon as I heard it, I went, "Oh, that's my alarm clock." So I had to move it out of that, put it into another bag and stuff, where it was on top, so it wouldn't keep getting knocked and turning on. So for my New Zealand peeps, since they asked so nicely, today it was 35 degrees Celsius for the high. Tomorrow is 37 degrees Celsius for the high. And currently outside it is 33 degrees Celsius. There you go. My brother just asked what it was in New Zealand. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go and unpack the car. That's going to give me 30 minutes. And then I'm going to shower, put my PJs on, and just kick back and relax before going to bed. But I'm glad to be home. I had a great, amazing time with my grandsons for the week, or 10 days or whatever it was. Had a fantastic time with them. My heart is overflowing, is full and overflowing. I got so many hugs. The youngest one would come when I go to pick him up from preschool. He'd be like, "Grandma," and he'd come running over, and he would just legs around my waist, arms around my neck, and just hang on. And he would just stay like that. And if I was sitting in the family room in the evenings, and we're just sitting there with the kids and stuff, he would come over and climb all over me and just sit on my lap and give me hugs. So I got lots of hugs last week, and I was very thankful for all those hugs, because I haven't been hugged that much in a long time, and it was really good to get those. So, but I'm home and it's very quiet in this house, and Zephy's presence is definitely missing from this house. But I get to see her tomorrow morning, so I'm super excited about that. I have a conference call before she arrives, and then I get to spend a little bit of time with her before I have to get back to work. So, but I'm super grateful for the opportunity to be able to go watch the grandkids. I just wish I lived closer so I could see them more often. But California is just too expensive for me to live in. So this is as close as I can get for now. But I'll be back next month for my youngest grandson's first birthday, and that'll be a lot of fun. And maybe stop by and see the progress on the house, because there'll be some like counters will be installed, some cabinets will be, well, cabinets definitely, because I know she told me the date that those were getting installed for the kitchen. And the kitchen just sounds, they're getting a steam oven. Now, I have heard of steam ovens in commercial settings. I did not know you could get steam ovens for residential use. So they've got the wall ovens, and one's just a regular oven, and the other one's a steam oven. And I'm just like thinking, I've heard it. I've seen them in commercial kitchens, and I've used one in a commercial kitchen when I was doing my associates in my associate degrees, because 101 food prep was part of it, and they had a steam oven in there that we got to use. But I'd never heard of it being made available for residential use. And I thought, that is such a cool thing. I want a steam oven, but I don't want a wall oven. Yes. Being only 5'4", there's some challenges. I find I have challenges with wall ovens, and that's having to stand and reach, because otherwise you've got to stand to the side and reach in. And it just makes it too awkward to try and get stuff. For me personally, that's my opinion. I prefer to have the oven, like the stove top, the oven underneath it, and you have to bend down and put, because those ones I can manage. The wall ovens, when they're up in the wall, like for the top oven that was at my son's place, which was also the microwave as well. I really don't like using microwaves, but it was the only way to heat up the kids' food. I still had to reach up and over the door in order to get the stuff out. And I've got a little bit of a height challenge in that department. But I managed, and thankfully it was only a plate at a time and not some big dish I had to haul in and out. If I had to do any cooking, I just put it into their low oven. They have was it a microwave and a convection oven over here, and they had 2 ovens on their range. They had like really cool. They had a really cool range. But what was interesting is when I was talking with the middle son and his wife about their house and stuff, I go, "Oh, you're going electric or gas on the thing?" "Oh, we're going electric." And because they said gas is going away in houses in California. And I'm like, wait, what? And apparently there's something in Southern California. I don't know if it's in San Diego or LA as well, but they're not going to be putting gas into houses. You can have the gas for outside for the grill, but you won't be able to have gas inside the house. And I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not moving back to California. I love my gas. My gas cooking and everything. I like to cook with gas. But yeah, that was going away. And then I got to meet their neighbor as well. And they were talking about every time they went in for a permit, they got told some new thing that had been, been approved, like out front, in that, you have the property and then you've got the footpath, and you've got that little strip across there. They've been told they have to remove the gravel that's in there because they're not allowed to have gravel there anymore. And I'm like, wait, what about all the other houses that have the gravel? They says, well, because we had to go in and get permits, they told us we had to remove the gravel. So they're gradually doing this. And I'm like, so you can put just dirt there. You can have a garden there. You can put trees. You can put whatever you want in that area in front of your house on the other side between the curb and the footpath, but you cannot put gravel, anything but gravel. And I'm just like, that is so stupid. I'm sorry. I just didn't understand that. Didn't understand that one at all. And then there was a few other things that I'm so like, wait, what? She says, yeah, every time we go in for it, she says, we get nickeled and dimed on the permits. Every time we go in to get a permit for something else, she says, there's another cost involved with it, or they've made some changes, and now we have to make changes. And I'm just like, that is so ridiculous. Yeah. So there are challenges for renovating places. And I'm pretty sure it's the same. I don't know how other areas go, but some of the stuff that they were telling us, it's like, that just makes no sense. Sorry, it just makes no sense. But anyway, That's it. I'm out of here. I gotta go clear out my car. And oh, they've got steam ovens in New Zealand. Yeah, like I said, when I was doing my degree, and that was back in 1999 to 2000 when I was doing my 2-year degree, actually 3 of them at once. They had steam ovens for commercial use at that time. They didn't have them made available for residential. I did not know that they had made them available for residential, which is awesome because I love cooking with steam, but I also have, yeah, that would be, that's really cool. And she was telling me what she's going to put into the oven, and I'm just like, I'm hungry. You could steam your rice, your salmon, the vegetables, put them all in the oven together, have it steam it, and I'm just like, that would be so cool. I love steamed food. But anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. I got to go clear out my car so I can sit down, relax, and unwind, get a good night's sleep in my own bed. But I did have a very comfortable bed to sleep in over the past week, which was awesome. So yeah, it's going to be. And I forgot to change the sheets on the bed before I left, and they've still got my fuzzy sheets on. So I guess I'll sleep on those tonight. That'll be this weekend's job, I think, to switch out the sheets unless it gets too hot that I just get up in the middle of the night and change them, which has been known to happen as well. But anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific because we are back on schedule again. Hey, konera.